You like that lighting? I know. Hi, welcome to day 30 of the 99 days of Christmas. Is it day triple X if we're on the Roman numeral system? But if we're on the base 10 numeral system of how many times a month do we think about the Roman Empire? Because the math, it's meant to be super hard. What are we doing? We're doing day number 30 of the 99 days of Christmas. Day number 30. Day number 30, which is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University. Specifically, who didn't teach us this? Who graduated from Vanderbilt? Alex Hormozi. You think that after having gone to Vanderbilt that you would be all about advanced things. But the way that he dumbs down is incredibly genius. The way that Alex Hormozi, makes money also is incredibly astute because his sweet spot is content, deliciously digestible content. Where's the hole in his content where we get paralyzed with what do we do first? What do we do next? Here's the hole: getting off of $0. Every book, every article, every video is great as far as content goes, where it feels like I'm learning and it feels like I'm using my brain. What we want to do here is not go negative with Alex Ramosi. We want to augment and addendum the holes and gaps, the chasms where his content is incredibly innovative. It's also slightly old school. This is how to make it oldest school, which is why we're doing sunrise videos for day 30 of the 99 Days of Christmas, what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University. Larry, did you go to Vanderbilt University? There's a library in your phone that connects to any library, whether it's Vanderbilt, whether it's my safety college, or my reach school, or safety school, I forget which, Stanford. All of this content is available. Let me preview it for you because you did not think Vanderbilt was important enough to Google. And I kind of don't blame you because I don't blame you. This is why I'm springboarding you for springboard. This springboard is triple X a sexy way to say 30? You are if you're Roman, and similar to the Roman Empire, we are currently getting confused because the government's trying to trick us because of how much money is getting printed. Do you love how these topics all dovetail together? Because that's also what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, but that's not the topic of this video. The topic of this video is a handful of things that we can possess here, now, before the video ends, where maybe you've never met Larry Chang before. Maybe you'll never watch another YouTube video again. And I'm definitely not asking you to subscribe or buy stuff off of an affiliate program. No, I'm asking you to use your free library card where we get to win at entrepreneurship, where we can get General Chow's chicken on the ready from DoorDash, because that is actually topic 3. Let's start at the very beginning, which is this problem. Nod quietly to the screen when you agree with this. 99% of entrepreneurship content is how to go from $4 million to $2 billion. Once you see that 99.999% of entrepreneurship education is helping people go from $4 million to $2 billion. Oh, Uber shouldn't have done that. This is 9 things that Uber Travis Kalanick wishes he knew when he started. Alex Hormozi, this is how to do $100 million deal. What? $100 million deal? That's not how you do $100 million deal, Vanderbilt. Ditto Brandon Bouchard. Ditto the Cornelius. Ditto Tommy O'Rourke. Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt. Did I go to Vanderbilt? I did not. Where did I go? I go to this school of what they don't teach you in school via the YouTube channel. Do you love how this is going to be like 6-minute abs? This is 15-minute abs. That's the problem. 99% is geared towards $4 million to $2 billion. What is the result of that entrepreneurship? Also, education at the school that you went to. 80 to 90% failure rate. Oh, but if I just went to a slightly better college, Stanford University, what would my fatality rate be there? 80%. Imagine if newborns died at a rate where only 20% survived. That's what this video solves. Maybe you didn't look up Duck 9, deeply understood capital knowledge, before we met. That's okay. Am I recommending that you Google my company afterwards? No, because this is not about some product that my company does. This is about having a standalone 15-minute video on entrepreneurship. And also for Instagram for Hot Girl Sales Club, which is a joke, but now it's actually a thing. Because that's what happens. Point number 1, solving the 82% fatality rate with jokes coming out of the third institution of Silicon Valley. Are these jokes funny? Sometimes. They sound like they're not serious, but point number 2 is as serious. It's serious. It's as serious as Mexican food with bad Chinese food mixed in your stomach, and then you're drinking too much, and now you got to hurl. It's that kind of serious. Point number 2 is that selling is incredibly hard, especially if you're a sales virgin. Let me repeat point number 2, because Alex Hormozi buying ads or hoping to go viral by delegating selling to another company is atrocious. In case you're wondering what we're doing, look at how few a number of people clicked away when you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have to sell something. Don't worry, Cousin Larry's got a painless way for you to get off of no longer being a virgin, right? Which is point number 3, distribution. Selling is so hard that we had to euphemize the word. We had to come up with a watered down word for what we're doing. And look at the energy change. Exactly. This is distribution, and if we're able to just push ourselves to the other side of distribution, we're going to realize that every brand name founder that we've met or have heard about or have come across, they learned sales at home. They learned to do a lemonade stand business. They somehow got lucked into selling, or they were in a Girl Scout troop and they accidentally sold cookies. So, this is the painless way to sell anything small and keep it all. You're not selling something that I'm doing, you're just selling your own thing. And let's say selling one thing is super hard, right? Let's us go not from 0 to 1 sale, let's go from 0 to 1 video where you're just not selling yet or anything. You're just compiling information onto a video that you're summarizing. Think of it as a book report where this is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt. This is your book report. Startups fail. And the reason startups fail is because everybody, and I don't mean to laugh, but it's funny. Every tech founder decides to delegate sales, selling, and marketing to a business person to massive detriment. What they don't teach at Vanderbilt University is that a lot of times the founder gets fired. And when we get fired after $2.3 million, is this why Roy Raymond, the founder of Victoria's Secret, killed himself? Yeah. How serious is unaliving yourself after you're a single-digit millionaire? Let's avoid those things. Roy Raymond, he started Victoria's Secret at the Stanford Mall because he wanted a way for people, men and women, to buy underwear and not feel super creepy. That's why it's Victoria's Secret. And then when he initially didn't sell, initially he just put his stuff out there like a plate of cookies and then said, oh, well, I'm giving away food or I'm giving away something small. By the way, I'm also selling this. That's food for lead gen. Does Elon Musk still use this technique inside a Tesla store? Yes, because selling is incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard, and startups fail. Point number 4, startups fail when what happens? When they go into a death spiral. Oh, hey, Larry Chang, what are the steps before a death spiral? Oh, thank you for asking. It's when we, as the solo founder, decide to delegate selling to an app. We delegate selling to a hired gun, a VP of sales. Steve Blank, Professor Blank at Columbia University, wrote a book on this called 4 Steps to the Epiphany. 4 Steps to the Epiphany. And in 4 Steps to the Epiphany, 4 Steps to the Epiphany, he outlines 4 articles in Startup Death Spiral, which is bit.ly/s blank710. bit.ly. What? This is a website. bit.ly/. This is the only thing I'm selling you. A page view on Steve Blank, Startup Death Spiral. bit.ly/s blank 714. It's all the numbers between 710 to 714, 711. So it all ends the same because there's 5 articles. And the notoriety that I received to become the third institution of Silicon Valley is I solve books problems. Is this similar to this video, solving Alex Hormozi and Vanderbilt problems? Yes. Did I just solve your entrepreneurship in under 15 minutes? Yes. Because all you're doing is paste copying the problem that I solved and doing a 2-minute video where people are going to watch this video and be like, this is the 5th time I've seen this. And then you'll be doing entrepreneurship in the same way that Shelby Sapp, S-A-P-P, Shelby Traditional, launched her first video. And then you'll do a video and then I'll clip it. Now we can just relax because we can just play and go into point number 5, which is Vanderbilt does not have a class called Strategic Management 353. This is me front running a hole that's a problem at Vanderbilt. Inside of entrepreneurship, it's way easier to sell it if you poke a rich person with their problem. If this is the first line of notes that you've written down because you're like, oh my God, that was amazing, out of your butt, back pocket, go ahead and pull out a notebook. Don't write down Larry Chang, that's who I am. Write down, selling is much easier when you poke a rich person's problem. You poke it and then you solve it. Did I also solve why females are not temporarily as good in entrepreneurship, but then when we as blondes decide to do entrepreneurship, we can easily become a billionaire when we connect? Who's batting 1,000 when it comes to billionaires that are blonde in America? Lisa Falzone, Revel, Whitney Wolf, Bumble, Sarah Blakely, Spanx, Caroline Rodriguez, Shelby Haas. This is a body of work, pun intended. Look at what happens to dating when we delegate sales and marketing to an app. What happens? Nothing good. It's like a startup death spiral that Steve Blank talked about, because we are now relying on an app to help us sell ourselves to get dates. And that's what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, is when we play the dating game on easy mode, we end up hurting our careers because now we're accidentally playing it on hard mode. That's a video for you, which is an LOL video of, is this stand-up comedy or is this winning at entrepreneurship while making fun of people that complain about dating apps? And then, so do you see how the video sells itself? That also helps, is to get you over your first sale, is you kind of want to have something that sells itself. You kind of want to get somebody else to sell something with you. That's a lemonade stand business, but you don't actually want to sell lemonade, which is just a cup of sugar water with a little bit of lemon. What we want to do is we want to have the mentality of, we worked really hard to get into our college. We skipped the step of doing a lemonade stand. We forgot about how to sell one thing on eBay. We don't want to drop ship 30,000 units of turd on Amazon, okay? That's not what we're doing, because this is also what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, which also what Alex Hormozi doesn't teach you. He bought a gym and then sold gym memberships. He skipped the step of what he really did, which is he sold something first that he did not own, but he skipped over it because it was ingrained in him in his Persian background. And so that's a lemonade stand business, is where we're in the first 7 steps. We're not even talking to people on a cold open, cold start basis. That's what Shelby Sapp is doing, which is awesome, because she's in her channel wrangling people that are college students to knock on doors to sell pest control. That's hard. That's having to talk to people who literally slam the door in their face. What this is, for what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, and what Alex Hormozi does not teach you, is that the first 7 exercises, the first 7 micro jobs, the first 7, not even internships, but pop-up internships. Do you see how there's steps 1 through 20 for a class at Stanford University, CS 183D, for distribution. Remember, that's the word that is the euphemism, the watered down, colloquialized phrase, which is more word salad than sales, distribution. So at Stanford, which still hasn't taught distribution, which is why I have the confidence to to give this video in all its plot spoiler on 10 levels of helping you get to entrepreneurship in under 15 minutes, which is the first 7 lectures at CS 183D for distribution require you to say zero and have shit sell itself to rich people. Is that politically incorrect? No, because when we are rich, then we can help poor people. Am I condescending in this video? I don't think I am, but you can see how if you're going to change the world, you kind of need to take care of yourself first. When your plane's crashing, ladies and gentlemen, put your oxygen mask on first, then proceed to assist others. Okay? So the oxygen here that we're talking about is, are you above $4 million? Right? Because all of entrepreneurship education is only between $4 million and $2 billion. Once you see that that's true, you'll never be able to unsee it, which is why there are actually 99 days of Christmas. Get it? Day triple X, XXX. It's like Christian jokes. We are at $0. We can. You guys are so demanding. You want to see the hair? Here's the hair. Happy? We can focus the first 7 steps on $0. I think step 1 was to sell a Braun power cord. First sell it and then buy it. I think the part number is 7030458. What happens there is you get confidence doing your first sell high, buy low. I almost leaked out the word arbitrage. I was told to not use business jargon. So using Braun power cord 7030458, sell high, buy low. What happens when you buy 20 and then you sell 6? You experienced the most startup-y new entrepreneur form of bankruptcy. You didn't have to declare legal bankruptcy. Thank you for reminding me. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. Who loves sunrise videos? Here it's what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt. Do you love how I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone? A subtle form of bankruptcy is where you tried to do entrepreneurship, you tried to do a business, you bought 20 or 2,000 or 100 units going, oh, I like this, I would buy it. So you buy 100 of them. And then what happens? And then what happens? And then what happens? You only sell 4 of 20. You only sell 3 of 100. You only sell 70 of 90. And you don't even break even because you think selling it for $6 more than you bought it for is going to help it sell easier, when counterintuitively you want to do, oh my God, point number 6. So point number 6 is selling a $2 book for $100,000. That's point number 6. It's called point number 6, and it doesn't matter if you didn't get points 5, 2, or even 1. Point number 6 is your flagship point. You want to get from I need to understand and memorize all of Larry Chang's everything into having the confidence to just do one. Because when you buy something for $2 and you sell it for more than $5,000, I would sell it for $275,000 because that's how much I sell jizz for. That's how much I sell baby juice for. That's how much I sell sperm for per person, because now I've not only done consent, there's no way that you can accuse me of sexual impropriety because we have a purchase order where you bought my jizz for $275K. Seriously. And if it's funny, people think it's funny because who sells jizz for $275,000? Right? Your price point won't vary because you're pulling out a pen and that notebook that we've been talking about, or currently the back of a Amex Platinum, Amex Black Card envelope, you're going to write down, because your parents pay for everything, right? And so you're going to write down point number 6, which is selling something for $2. Sorry. Selling something for, in my case, $275,000. In your case, $6,000. What they don't teach at Vanderbilt, day 30, 99 Days of Christmas. Then you're going to buy it for $2. Why didn't they just buy it on their own? This is why. Have you met females that talk about their problems and then get angry when you solve their problem? Or if you're a female, do you just listen to problems, biting your tongue and then never solving it because you're like, if I tell her to stop dating Larry Chang, she's just going to get angry at me when I start dating Larry Chang, right? So you just listen and you say, instead of solving the problem, why don't I go ahead and make the problem worse? This is how people of all types address problems. Is this stand-up comedy? No, question mark. This is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt. 99 Days of Christmas, day number XXX. That's the Roman numeral 430, which is hunting for problems. The book that I showed you, it's an incredibly specific book because that book you can sell for more than $100,000. Why? Because it's another thing that you haven't heard of that seems like code. CS 183E. E has a D, D has a C, C has a B, B doesn't even have an A because they didn't even think that there was going to be a B, so that's why there is no A. And do you see how it gets kind of confusing? In the same way that law school is super confusing even when you go to a different law school. This is what they do teach you at Vanderbilt Law, which is L1 to L. What? It should just be third year law, second year law, first year law. It shouldn't be L1, 2L, 3L. What? What? Why is the first year number swapped with L1 and 2L? It's because on the other side of code is money. Let me repeat that, because that's a bankable phrase of your second video, which is on the other side of code is money. Sell it first, then buy it. Because how many founders, pre-founders, pre-entrepreneurs, lemonade stand business runners are going to are going to do arbitrage incorrectly? How many people are going to buy the Alex Hormozi $100 million deals book and then actually lose money? This is why these jokes aren't funny, but they are, because now what you're able to do is you're able to proceed without risk. There should be zero risk. What are your guys' questions that you guys have? Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, HGEC 25. Or what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, what Alex Hormozi skips over, which is buying ads and risking money and buying something and trying to sell it. No. Oh, point 6, edit. So, point 6, edit is coincidentally DJing the selling something for multiple thousands of dollars that you paid $2 for. You should be challenging me, but thank you for just pressing ahead and giving me love. Thank you. Let's hold off on the love, because I'm going to have you love bomb me, because I'm about to drop a digestible, actionable item. Pen to paper. This is your dopamine redo, because when you don't go video to video and you're getting the dopamine of this, wait till you cash a check. What happens to your brain's dopamine? Because then you're going to be expanding on a prior, which is the opposite of attention deficit disorder. How not attractive, but how, now you can see why I'm in Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, right? Because this is valuable. Let's roll. Word filter, disengage, computer. This is what we're doing. We're selling a book for thousands of dollars that we bought for $2. How? 6 sentences, pen to paper. We are editing other people's turd and then becoming super rich. That's not Larry Chang saying this. This is the founder of Groupon saying this to me at a place called Startup School. We don't want to buy anything. We want to edit up turd and then get super rich. The $2 that I was talking about, there's a book used that I bought that got me into Stanford GSB, Graduate School of Business, Stanford University MBA program, because I sniffed out to a rich person, Irv Grausbeck, who owns the Boston Celtics. And I poked his problem of, hey, well, number one, I can't believe you're still alive because you're a living legend. I use your book. Kissing ass magnanimously. That makes you a living legend. Chapter 17 and its corollary to Lecture 11, it's not the best. It's not as good as Chapter 9, Entrepreneurship. It's not as good as Chapter 5 and Chapter 4, Editing a Business and Doing Audit and Analysis. Can I sit with you in your class next time you go over it, so that way we can recap what's in Chapter 17? Now what you've done is you've edited something that exists. That is point number 6. And did I edit his entire class to start an entirely new class at Stanford Engineering? Not yet, but you can see how my extrapolation of A book that maybe you've heard of that you haven't utilized. Peter Thiel, 0 to 1. Because what is this video? This video is in essence 0 to 2. Sell me this pen. It's 0 to 2. Can you ship one YouTube video? How many YouTube videos have you watched? What if you got paid $1 per hour that you watch YouTube videos? Not moving ahead in the past. Like if I had $1 for every YouTube video I watched, you'd be how rich? In the comments, how rich? That's what we're doing because we're going to now not necessarily get paid to do YouTube videos, but we're now going to leave the most difficult number in the universe. We're now going to leave 0. We're now going to no longer be a 0 for New York Times books that we've written. Maybe we will. We're no longer going to be a 0 for YouTube videos that maybe didn't necessarily go viral, but we're now off of 0. I'm about to say a word that you need to write down because I care about you guys. You can feel that I care, right? Because the prep for this is as if you guys paid me $19,000 to be your life coach, right? You can feel that. Please write this down. Don't rely on your memory because you actually want to put it up on your treasure map. It's like a wall of treasure, which I'm looking at right here. In fact, this will be part of the treasure map. Snowball. That's the word that you want to write down. Seeing as how it's winter and slightly cold, a little snowball can start an avalanche of money into your bank account. All of entrepreneurship education is after the avalanche has wiped out 15 cities, because that's what it feels like to make $4 million. You feel unstoppable. In fact, Shelby Sapp even talks about in one of her videos, when you have a really good month where you make $50,000, you don't stop and spike the football. Happens all the time, where you stop doing the things that helped you. Shelby Sapp Haas, I forget how the hyphen goes. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, you're getting mentored by a dude with about 88 for an IQ. Does it matter? No, because it seems like I have an IQ of 500 because I read books. I take a book that took 40 years to write. I read it in under a year. I now am a quadragenarian, a 40-year-old. Editing Snowball, Down the Hill. There's a book that you can sell actually for way more than 18 bucks. It's a book called Snowball. How many people that are our age, plus or minus 2 years, are frustrated with where they're at, while also not being able to read one book per year? How many? It's not 0. It's pretty high, right? That's why this video is called 99 Days of Christmas, What They Don't Teach You at Vanderbilt University, day number 30, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. What did I do just there? It was surprising, it was douchey, it was on brand. Oh my God. Put it on, take it off. Take it on, put it off. Put it off, take it on. Oh my God. Is that how you're supposed to have sex? Push it in, pull it out, push it in, repeat. Oh my God. Hat on, hat off, hat on. Is that supposed to demarcate a point in the video? Why aren't you just taking notes versus relying on whether or not the Oriental Cowboy is having a good video? Because a 40-year book project, that's every human. Nonfiction. You have 2 good books in you. You live to 80 years old, and each book is basically worth 40 years. If it takes you a year to read that book, you've now compressed 40 years worth of knowledge into this. That's why I come across confident. Do you have no Chinese friends? Okay? You went to Vanderbilt. You do have Chinese friends. What Chinese person gives you the inkling that they've got BDE? This is not dick energy. This is BBE, big brain energy. And did we just step into comedy? That stand up? No. This is sit down for point number 6, rehashed, which is we want to edit other people's turd and then get super rich. Alex Hormozi with $100 million deals, he laid a giant turd. Oops. Did it become a bestseller? Yeah, but it's still turd. How are we going to solve it? We're going to embed lectures 1 through 7 of a class that you don't know about, which I will map you through. Computer Science 183. Oh, but Larry, I already know how to code. I'm a software engineer. Good. This will be a slam dunk for you because I went ahead and wrote it at the 7th grade level. CS 183D was actually never taught at Stanford and never taught at YC, Y Combinator, which is why this video is also going on the video series over on X Twitter for what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. Do you remember before where I was like 99 Days of Christmas, what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, and Day XXX? What I did in that one sentence was point number 6D, which is a standalone point that you don't have to refer to other points, which is this shit sells itself when you organize it slightly better and you front run where the rich people are who are going to be having these cliche problems. We are poor people. We are in the middle class. We have parents that give us money. Well, you do, not me. And we need to figure out how we are going to make money. Point 6, point number E, completely standalone in the next 3 minutes. Doesn't matter if you haven't seen the other 29 Days of Christmas, including Day X of the 99 Days of Christmas, which is a faux franchise, which this also is. A fake business that's a joke that we can make money on. If your brain's about to bake, it would help if you put pen to paper and did this. We're polishing up the turd of $100 million deals. That's a book that skips the gap of how do we get to 100K, 30K. Do you see how I'm going to dovetail selling something for $3,000 that we buy for $2? Do you see how we're now going to dovetail and add in an external API, an application protocol interface? Now, you're temporarily confused because you think, oh, word salad. Let me break down specifically so that way you realize that this is awesome. An API is where we connect to one book. That is one API. What we want to do is we want to dovetail like a cute dove. See this owl? He's got a cute little tail. We want to dovetail all the tails going in one direction so that way we fly. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. What they don't teach you at Vanderbilt. Alex Hormozi, $100 million deals. This brain. Your pen. That's a dovetail. In the same way that an API is two computers talking to computers, we can have money being made when we code an API call to pay us $1 per interaction. Do you see how genius getting off of zero is? Because the first 7 times we do this, we don't need money. Snowball, springboard, chapter 66. Oh, Larry, I didn't even read Snowball chapters 1 through 64. I don't care. And scandalously, I'm telling you, you don't have to read them. You just have to read 2 pages. Because you can sell a book that you didn't read cover to cover. God, this is so scandalous. It's scandalous. This is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, which is you're selling 2 pages of Alice's book, Snowball, and using ChatGPT by Sam Altman, and the guy who is ahead of Sam Altman, Larry Chang. Nice to meet you. I'm the 3rd institution of Silicon Valley. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. That's Miami math. You love that? I do. Snowball, chapter 65. Chapter 65. Sorry, chapter 66. Oh my God. Chapter 65 is the Steve Blank book, Columbia, which is also page 117 and page 123. How are you going to sell it? Oh, great question. This is how to do it. Warren Buffett, Snowball. Alice used to be an analyst against Berkshire Hathaway, and then she wrote the book because she went from hater to lover of Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, May 1 to May 3, is going to host his annual Berkshire Hathaway Fest. Do you have to go there to sell chapter 66? No, you don't have to even go. You can just say in a video series, video 3, video 2, video 1, whichever number of videos that you're on. This is what they don't teach you at Warren Buffett's Snowball. This is chapter 65, and people be like, you have unwritten chapters for chapter 65? Yeah, and 66, 67, and what you're doing is you're extrapolating like you're a super smart owl. You're extrapolating for, hey, what am I gonna need to do to win at getting off of zero? Which for us here, it's realizing that Warren Buffett also has a hole in his brain. It's called chapter 70. And that connects to May 11 through 15 in Orlando at the Hilton. Am I showing off right now? Totally showing off right now. Sell 1. Oh, page 127. You're not even selling a whole book. You're just selling page 117 and page 123. How can you sell something, Larry, without, he knows. Ask he knows. How can you sell something without even having to talk? 2 strangers that don't know you. That's what video 1 and video 2 are. It's soft selling the expensive. The other thing to sell, which sells itself, is inside of Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, how many attractive women have Instagram followings that are incredibly popular, right? Do you know what happens to those posts? Do you know what happens to those posts? They are hidden because they get old. Am I talking about a cliff where eventually your popularity falls off a cliff? Yeah, I really am. That's why we sell Hot Girls, or as Hot Girls, we can sell this also, a landing page. Am I selling a web page for $1,500? Pretty much. I'll even code your web page for you for free. Just sell someone a web page for $15, $60, or $100. Oh, but they can have a whole website for $1,000 or $200 or $150. Yes, but remember, if the person hasn't solved their own problem, they're probably not going to solve their problem until somebody presses them to solve that problem. What are we going to do for a landing page? We're going to ask, hey, what problem can we solve with your landing page? This is how to go 0 to 2, because first lectures 1 through 7 of CS183D, speculative at Stanford Engineering, they don't even exist yet. No talking required. Just accept money and then do customer service. And then 0 to 2 is how we can solve another book's hole, which is Peter Thiel, where we read 0 to 1, and in the video, it's never explained how to go from 0 to 1 billion. In fact, let alone, it doesn't even talk about how to get from 0 to 1 million, which in one word, delta, is Harvard Law Review. The author, or the co-author, Blake Masters actually wrote it, not Peter Thiel. Stanford Law. Harvard Law Review at Stanford as a business was called the Stanford Law Review. That's how he got to his first $1 million. And do you see how we can go from 0 to 2 videos? We can go from 0 to 2 sales. We can go from 0 to 2 pages of notes, 0 to 2. We can do 0 to 2 landing pages. We can do 0 to 2 plates. We can even do 0 to $2 million, which my friend Connor, who's in my YouTube content creator club, who helped me get over the hump along with Sarah, helping me engineer this channel to be stratospheric, which you can feel like this whole thing is going, right? I'm not going to ask you to share it with one of your friends because you want to succeed without your friends, and then you want to impress your friends. So whatever you do, don't share this video and just keep me all to yourself. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, no, I'm not dating you. We are focusing that sexual energy on work. Do you love how I just take comments from people and I work them into a bingo card? It's like you're controlling me, but then while you're trying to control me, num 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 num. Entrepreneurship from Larry Chang tastes good. Num 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 num. Instead of that kind of control, it's you controlling me while I'm coding your brain to be abundant in its framework. 99 Days of Christmas, day number 30. Day number XXX. Day number XXX. What questions do you guys have that are business related questions, not what are we doing this weekend? What business questions? Business questions. Business questions. you see how bad this is? Where the speaker on stage does this. Whereas when the speaker on stage does this, it doesn't look anywhere near as bad, especially if you're sliding your notes. But when you do this at a party, you don't necessarily kill the party, but it just makes you look soft. Oh, what they don't teach at Vanderbilt, dopamine management. Let's say you're one-on-one in a restaurant and your friend goes to the bathroom, right? Happens all the time. What we want to do when we're alone in public, practice not touching your phone. Being able to digitally detox using this video while we go from 0 to 2 is one of the most useful things that you'll ever do in 2025. Let me repeat that. No exaggeration. Worth $5,000. When 2 people or 3 people become 1 person and now you're standing in a public spot, don't touch a thing. Don't touch your phone. Don't scroll. In fact, what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, point number 2, is we want to go from scrollers and doom scrollers to algorithm coders. When we make one video, or when we go from 0 to 2 videos, our algorithm changes on YouTube, and our algorithm also changes with our brain chemistry. Are we now talking about chapter 12, Joe Dispenza, with brain chemicals? Yes. Do you see why I'm called the vagina whisperer? Now you do, because you thought it was pussy magnet when I'm actually trying to repel pussy here, and I'm going into how to win at brain chemistry while we go from 0 to 2 under what they don't teach at Vanderbilt, day number 30 under the 99 Days of Christmas, with a special guest of Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. "99 Days of Christmas, day 30, comma, day XXX. Good job staying, because we are going to go over a jaw-droppingly amazing thing that you can take action on and then get credit for it, because literally so few a number of people realize. This is not just the last 1 year of YouTube or the last 10 years of entrepreneurship. This has been entrepreneurship education since time began. Articles, how-tos, videos, books, all of entrepreneurship mentorship and entrepreneurship education, it goes toward dollars 4 million to 2 billion. There is nothing that addresses how to start. When you read a book with that lens, you will now see that there is a gap from negative $4,000 to $2 million. Like, what is the first thing that I do? Because guess what? The conclusion that everybody knows but doesn't advocate. This is the truth that everyone is in possession of but will not augment, accelerate, or shine a light on to. And with all the truths that are bubbling up to the surface now, this truth will continue to be hidden, which is if you're starting a business, you're going to have to talk to strangers that you don't know, and you're going to need to collect money after you sell them. Because selling them, that's hard. But collecting money, that's almost as hard. I'll promise to pay you the money, but then some of those customers don't pay. Once you practice that skill via a model which only two people have ever talked about, which is me and my mentor. That's why I'm that vigorously, rigorously obnoxious and energetic. Because I'm actually not being obnoxious, I'm being confident in knowing how to turn around every business. Are we talking about shitcoin turnarounds with Hawk Tuah Girl? Yeah, actually. Because what did point number 6? Editing up a turd, getting super rich. Japanese people, God bless Japanese people for no longer going into China and grooming hordes of females to the point where I am 7% Japanese. How do you think that got there? It's not from dating Japanese people. Oh no. That genetic content got forcibly placed into my bloodline, which is polish up your turd, get super rich. Because Japanese people have a practice, an art of taking petrified shit, polishing it up, and then turning it into art. That's what we're doing within entrepreneurship is we are bringing light to the fact that selling is hard and collecting money is just as hard. And so when you practice what me and my mentor do, which is the Mark McCormack reverse rebate model, you pretty much, if you're a hot blonde, enjoy being a billionaire. Enjoy being a billionaire. Enjoy getting off of zero and venturing from 0 to 2. When I pull this notebook out at a meeting, people definitely look at me like in a way that they realize that I'm about to do a magic trick. Wiring their brain, dopamine, taking notes in a meeting. People aren't just ADD on their phone. People are attention deficit disorder in the real world too. This is causing people to hire differently. The 1099 economy, that's a tax form where you're not an employee, you're an independent contractor. The 1099 economy is real. Not me, well, me too. People will overpay an employee accidentally, but they'd much rather overpay an independent contractor for results. This is how to sign a deal when you're talking to a person who asks you, hey, what do you do? Oh, this should be a video. This is a video. This should be an amazing video. Oh, magic is about to happen. Not that magic hasn't been happening, but more magic, right? When people ask you what you do, it's an invitation to collect money. Oh, what do I do? Are you asking what I do for the community or what I do for money? Oh, either one. What are you initially doing with that question? You're not just saying, oh, I'm a turnaround expert, I'm a baller. Because then they'll nod pleasantly. That's not what you want. The elicited response, listener train of thought, is we want to get them massively curious. Hey, what do you do? Oh, me? What I do for the community or what I do for money? Ooh, either one. Porcupine again. You pick. What do you do for money? Now you know what they're thinking, which is work, work, work. I just care about money, so that way you tell me about your money and then I can charge you money. Boring. Okay. What I do is I started a company that helps students with their FICO score. And then I help, because of that, I'm able to recognize all the different programs to avoid bankruptcy, which coincidentally is also my hobby, is coming up with an algorithm of words to listen for so that way we can avoid bankruptcy. So what I do for my hobby is also what I do for money. Now we are off to the races because it's qualifying questions. Hey, how do you know that a person's gonna go bankrupt? Oh, well, you listen for words like, oh, I have a big deal coming right around the corner, or, oh, after I get the certification, I'm going to level up, and then you're like, that's not how work works. Or, oh, I'm delegating selling to a new person, and after I delegate selling, because I can't sell myself, they don't say that part aloud, but, oh, I'm going to delegate selling to somebody else, and that's really going to triple my business. Nope, you're entering startup death spiral, which is why 5 books help you avoid bankruptcy, which is also what I tell them. You don't even have to hire me. This is how to do what Larry Chang does without having to pay Larry Chang. 5 books to avoid bankruptcy. You don't have to pay Duck 9 the exorbitant fee of 9 figures to turn around your corporation. MicroStrategy, right? Like, their last offering was the total value of their company. Did I sniff their company out February 5th, 2021 in doing a turnaround? Maybe. 5 books. What they don't teach you at Harvard Business School, Mark McCormack. 4 Steps to the Epiphany, Steve Blank. Eric Ries, Lean Startup. Alexander Ostrander, Business Model Generation. Jeffrey Moore, Crossing the Chasm. When I rifle off these books, a lot of times people will interrupt me and be like, oh yeah, I have one of those books. Oh, cool. Well, your friend, they're going out of business. via pages 137 Cross the Chasm. Is page 137 Cross the Chasm what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University? Kind of. Kind of, because they teach it, but they don't stress it because selling and sales is so unpopular. How tight was this video, right? How tight? Super tight. What are your guys' intentions for 2025? In the comments. Yeah, accountability. These things are super easy to do. These are way easier not to do it, which is why we should connect, and good job staying as long as you have. Here's your reward. 650-283-8008. Hackle Entrepreneurship Club already has it. 650-283-8008. Accountability, not just with me, but getting a study buddy. Are you selling a book for thousands of dollars? Or are you selling accountability and being a study buddy where you will refund them the $3,000 that you charged if they don't flake on you? And now you both benefit, and this is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, is yes, you want to do this work alone, but you want to do it alone, but symbiotically conjoined with at least one other person. You're not selling them to co-found a business with you. You're selling them on a $0 program to go from 0 to 2 sales, 0 to 2 videos, 0 to 2 people concurrently on a live stream. Don't do a live stream. Do a live stream, but do just a 2-minute video that recaps what you found to be valuable, what you found to be valuable. "99 Days of Christmas," day number 30. Day number 30 is this day, which is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt. When you guys see the title of the video, what do you think? That's a question for you guys. When you saw the title of the video, what did you think? Did you guys already go to Vanderbilt? Oh, cool. That's that was the reaction it was supposed to have, which is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, because what they can teach you and what they do teach you is yes, because all of it's available. And in talking about Alex Hormozi, this is the money part, which is his stuff is great, but there's a gap in how do we get from 0 to 100K in sales. It's incredibly painful. And if you're talking about maturity, this is more like an appetite to delve into something that is incredibly difficult, Mr. Planet. And being at $0 is one of the most painful things. And it feels like from your energy that you're actually going to be super close to leaving $0. And so thank you for thinking that it's name dropping. Thank you. Because it's actually mentor mention per press interview. And page 132 of the Rational Mail, where this is exactly, and this is the third time that I've mentioned page 132, page 164 of the Rational Mail. Yes. Do you see that? That's also that I need to be a teacher. So what you're missing is mentor mention per press interview. It is a bibliography. Remember, you could have gotten all this stuff with a library card, but why did you not? Because you're thinking that it's name dropping. That's what a bibliography is, which is why you're so impressed with my knowledge, because I read other people's books, and now this video compression algorithmizes those things. This is a book report within a book report from books that you probably already own, which is why you think it's name dropping Peter Thiel. And I'm not promoting my mentee, Peter Thiel. In fact, I'm kind of embarrassed to promote Peter Thiel as my mentee because he didn't think I was a good enough mentor to ever mention me. I pay attention to when he started teaching an entrepreneurship class at Stanford University almost 6 years after I literally taught the exact same class. Do you see how this isn't name dropping Sam Altman, who taught CS183B after Peter Thiel? This is me showing you on a specific day, September 14, 2015, Sam Altman asked the question within Stanford Engineering. He has no degree yet, and that's okay. He asked the question as a adjunct professor, celebrity venture capital speaker, VC speaker. He said, who's going to teach CS183D? Have you ever asked ChatGPT for a question and then that question didn't come back? But then you're really impressed when the question just doles out an encyclopedia of information. Maybe you haven't heard of ChatGPT because this is not name dropping a company. Maybe you haven't heard of it. But Sam Altman and Elon Musk are the co-founders of ChatGPT. So the co-founder, CEO, Sam Altman, asked ChatGPT a question via Twitter X back when Yohil Roth, who is homosexual along with Sam Altman also being homosexual, then asked the question, who is going to teach CS183D, as in distribution? And then everybody was like, oh no, we ended up having the set of videos already hosted via 60,000 tweets tagged CS183D. Look it up. It's September 14, 2015. And this is not passive aggressive. This is specifically helping you guys understand where genius shit comes from. Because the anger that Mr. Planet is feeling, I'll even read it aloud. This is awesome. Stop firing shots. It's passive aggressive. That's what women do. You're a man. You are a man. Page 164, the Rational Male. How beta males, who are alpha males, whatever male you are, attacks a beta male who rose to become alpha male at 6'5", 211 pounds. Gets upset that dumb people, pleb, retard, University of Illinois, came into Stanford University and just started running circles around Stanford engineering professors. Oh, I'm sorry that your feelings got hurt because my IQ of 88 read this book 200 times. Page 67, Steve Blank, business model. What you're struggling with is that you don't understand my business model, yet you refuse to read Alex's book. How many times have I even talked about ass model? Remember? You got really upset when I was like, hey, business models are like ass models, but for dating. And you're like, oh, brr, it's so creepy when you blah, blah, blah. So take your master's or your PhD in your safety college, okay? Because I can feel it, or else there's no way there'd be that much animosity, which is why I'm thankful for it, right? And now you're trying to soft pedal by saying, oh, I know you're a nice guy. I really want you to fix your approach and succeed. Oh, sure you do. Sure you do with the prior comments, which I won't even screenshot because you're not even using your real name. Think about not your becoming not decapitated. What's it called where a woman cuts off your penis? Whatever that's called. Emaciated? Or is that just where you're hungry? Yes, I am cutting off your penis with whatever that word that I've heard 100,000 times. Yes, not that word. Think about how upset Tommy Byers and Randy Commissar were when I came into Stanford Engineering to teach significantly effectively. Why? At Stanford, there is an effort to only teach you how to go from 0 to 1 billion inside of a class that you might not have ever heard of, which Peter Thiel also had never heard of. That is not name dropping. That is alpha male shaming because Peter Thiel hadn't heard of Engineering 145 because he studied philosophy, political science. And he met Max Levchin at a summer lecture series in the middle 90s. And so Peter never took Engineering 145. I asked Tom Kosnick and Tom Byers, inside of your technology entrepreneurship class, what is your number one complaint? I already knew the answer to that, which is why I'm always hunting for problems. And so I'm not even going to read the message before I show it, but I will just show the negativity. In fact, I'm going to put a pin in that to read the YouTube filtered comment unfiltered. Bro, you refuse tips, you're smug, you're condescending, and unfortunately, the worst part, you're using people's intelligence in a smokescreen for your shortcomings for which traded through easily. This is a bibliography in the same way that Kobe and Bryant, he plays basketball, he's pretty good, he passed away, but guess what? His spirit lives on in me. Page 57, Austin Kleon's book. Is Kobe Bryant a paste copy of Michael Jordan, who's my friend with my phone number that he knows? And not only do I know his phone number, in a room, he knows Michael Jordan, my first and last name. That's name dropping. And a hilarious real story, which you don't have time for because you're so busy typing and trying to disconnect. Bibliography. Peter Thiel, 1 billion. I asked Tom Kosnick and Tom Byers, hey, when your students complain in technology entrepreneurship, what do they complain about? They're like, well, they complain about the fact that the whole class is geared towards how to be a billionaire and how to start a Evan Spiegel billion-dollar business, how to start a Yahoo. Evan Spiegel, he started Snapchat with a bunch of other Kappa Sigs. Kappa Sig! Does it bother you that I'm also in a fraternity? Because in college, this is what I had to do at the University of Illinois, which is why I get how to go from 0 to 2, which is why I get what they don't teach with Vanderbilt, because I myself had a hard time getting admitted to an MBA program because my grades were not like high school where I was a 4.6. What I do at the University of Illinois? Oh, I'm glad that you asked, because this dovetails perfectly into Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers. Stanford Daily version at University of Illinois, which I later worked for, which was the Daily Illini. Fraternity. Sports. 2 of them. Engineering school, 4 awards. Reading books. Oh, I'm glad that we're talking about this, because I didn't learn how to speed read until my second semester, senior year, when I already set the highest starting salary that actually still stands. How did I do it? Oh, I'm glad that you asked. Because I read a book from Mark McCormack my sophomore year. Where did I get this book from? Did I buy it for $20? No, it was sitting on my dad's bookshelf, half read. And I was like, what they don't teach at Harvard Business School, that's a school that I'll never get into. Plot spoiler, I have a PhD thesis right now at HBS called What Mr. Peabody Can Teach Us About the Fifth Epiphany. Oh, this is funny on 10 levels of funny. Because are we the only audience member? Yeah, we're not. We're not. Because most VCs that are going to bankrupt more people than they make millionaire, they say similar stuff. They say similar stuff. They say similar stuff. And then when you mention Peter, okay, going with Peter, Mr. Planet was friends with a devil worshiper whose username I will not repeat, because I pointed out the lack of consistency where devil worshippers are using an inverted cross, which is the logo of Jesus Christ's best mentee, who felt like he shouldn't get crucified right side up. He wanted to die upside down. This is winning. Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers. By the way, I love you guys and thank you for taking a risk on me. Because after SWIB, Stanford Women in Business, where I spoke, did I speak at a keynote for a women's conference to women? Pfft, I know that's a trap, right? I was like, thank you for asking me to speak. Christina and Amy Saper. Not name dropping, mentor mentioning, because they mentored me with a bunch of stuff. Will you speak, Larry Chang? Thank you, but I, once in a while, am a man and an alpha male. Instead of me speaking as my name, why don't I go ahead and speak as a person with no name, just a function? Because remember, the name of your conference is I Don't Know to CEO. And we're not going to be mentored by losers in the chat, okay, or randoms. We're going to take advice from Steven Zumdahl, which is acid-base titration. You drive the entire system to thinking, oh, that Larry Chang, he's so full of himself, he's so genius, and he just hits you in the face with his gigantic brain. Women should be mentored by other women. But how about when I speak, I just have a function. I don't have a name. They're like, how would that work? Your name of the conference is I Don't Know the CEO. You guys have a problem. The problem is You don't have a VIP introducer. You don't have a VIP attention getter that then introduces the conference chairs. Amy Saper, Rebecca are co-chairs. We can do a call to order, and I'll do a not 50-minute keynote, I'll just do a 4-minute keynote. They're like, yeah, a 4-minute keynote with no name and then no anything on the bio. Like, what are you going to talk about? I'm like, this is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how, welcome to this conference. If you have a speaker or a VIP that you would like to meet, you text me as your administrative assistant. Because what is this conference called? It's called I Don't Know the CEO, and you're going to need to boss around important alpha males that are celebrities that are now working for you. Unfortunately, none of those types of people could be available because it's freaking 9:15 a.m. on a Saturday. Welcome to Psycho Saturdays. Thank you for coming to Stanford Women in Business. Here is my phone number for if you want an introduction to any VIP speaker, you text me, and if the speaker wants an email intro, I'll do that. If a speaker is okay with a text message intro, I will also do that. Let me bring up Amy Saper and Rebecca. 13, maybe 16 hours later, we're at the speaker dinner. I get invited. It's at Evia at 420 Emerson. The reason I remember that is I also ran an external API to that because DoorDash currently still does not deliver to Evia or from Evia to you. We're at the speaker dinner. Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers goes, Larry, we saw what you did. I was like, this sounds ominous. I was never one-on-one with a female. I sound like that VP dude who's weird as AF, but people do throw putty, and I am very cognizant to barrier myself and never be one-on-one with a girl in private. Pence, we saw what you did. I was like, this sounds like I'm in trouble. They're like, we saw what you did. And they're like, we saw what you did. I'm like, okay, what did you see? And he goes, we saw you give your phone number to almost 1,000 women. We saw them all write it down. I was like, okay. They're like, you should teach engineering 145. I was like, what does the one thing have to do with the other thing? What are you talking about? And they're like, engineering 145, have you heard of it? I'm like, if you're Tom Byers, did you start the class with Randy Commissar? Do you see how this is not name dropping, okay? This is so juicy. This is juicy. Thank you. Thank you for trying to beta mail and ruin this, because you trying to ruin this has made this 1,000 times better. Seriously. Like, you trying to page 164, page 132, right out of Rollo Tomasi's book, not a name drop, which is a name drop, which is a mentor mention, because who surpassed Rollo Tomasi in the manosphere for doing red pill retard shit? This guy, right? Oh, this is delicious. This is, thank you, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is about to become even more amazing when I bring back Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. CS183 HGEC. Hashtag CS183 HGEC. This is probably, even though there's two people here, this is probably going to get me a TV deal on TechCrunch. TechCrunch. I'm a non-employee co-founder of TechCrunch Disrupt. Co-founder of the TechCrunch TV studio. Solo founder of the Uber API. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for hate watching more stuff. Thank you. Initially, it wasn't all I'm proud of my stuff. Now, this is just self-defense because you called me some names that I won't repeat, such as name dropper. This is Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, now dovetailed from what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University. Did I go to Vanderbilt University? Tommy O'Rourke is currently going to Vanderbilt University. Also, stud baseball player in the Master of Finance program. Oh, did you say Master of Finance? Am I talking about my friend Shelby Haas, who's surpassing me with more subscribers, 1 video, and 5 shorts? Yes. Coincidentally, this PhD in finance, who is, not upset about not going viral on YouTube because my presentation method isn't crafted to what focus groups are looking for, which is counter to page 164 and page 132 of the book, The Rational Male. You know those manosphere people who are trying to beta mail and ruin stuff by calling people names on people's feeds? I take that negative energy and I just win, which is this specific win, which is why I wanted to bring in Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club from HGEC. Did we just come up with a brand new thing that Peter Thiel won't do because he's allergic to hot girls in Entrepreneurship Club who are stuck at 0? Definitely. Definitely. So, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, that's hitting Twitter on right between the eyes. I'm just going to hand do this one. This is glorious. Do you like how I'm able to multitask? I am. Gary Tan, you're right. At the Josh McFarlane party, Larry, if you ever learned to code, you'd be unstoppable. Guess who's coding right now? I'm coding master's degree in finance people from Vanderbilt into going from 0 to 2 million billion. Gary Tan, what they don't teach you in school, what they don't teach you in Vanderbilt. Gary Tan, Stanford Engineering. Gary Tan, CS183. Gary Tan, Y Combinator. Gary Tan knows something that you guys should know, which is Gary Tan, bibliography here. He learned to do real estate from his Asian mom. Now does he teach sales to YC people? No, unless you learned it at home. How math demoralizing is this math class? Oh, it's actually not demoralizing because it turns out the reason I'm able to be better than, dare I say, the supermajority of Stanford engineering entrepreneurship kids is I took this class before I enrolled in class. I took the class twice before I taught the class. Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers, God bless you guys for wrangling me because you knew that I comprehended the stuff of what they don't teach you at Y Combinator. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, new hashtag hitting the grid. Y Combinator, you're welcome. Vanderbilt, pay attention because Tommy O'Rourke, did you graduate engineering from Stanford and then now enroll at Vanderbilt University in order to better prepare yourself for life after Major League Baseball? And how does this connect to Tom Kosnick and Tom Byers, Larry Chang? How? Via me and Tommy O'Rourke. I almost said Timmy. Different Major League Baseball player, Tim Tawa. Different Major League Baseball player. Tommy O'Rourke connects via Tristan Beck. It's a pinned tweet that I have. This is not name dropping because guess what? You've never heard of Chris Bubich or Brandon Beck or even Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers or Rainey Commissar. You've only heard of the third institution of Silicon Valley, Larry Chang, who is the vagina whisperer, not pussy magnet. Because with Kim Turka, I listened when she said, Larry, I do not want to any more longer delegate dating to an app. I want to code my own algorithm. Bam! Hunter Saderwhite happened. Hunting for problems on a date. Which brings us to the 3-due date at Evia at 420 Emerson. What they don't teach you at Y Combinator is memorizing addresses in Palo Alto so that way we wrangle guys like Steve Jobs to 641 campus. 408-891-XXXX. Steve Jobs' phone, it's still on. You know why I know? Because I call it. Why is it still on? I don't know, but I'm excited. Gary Tan, you're right. Coding. It's awesome. Let's proceed with the code. 3-person date. Tom Kosnick, Tom Byers. Hey, would you be interested in teaching Engineering 145? No, 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 no. I'm not teaching a class that I did not take. I went to the University of fucking Illinois, and I'm going to be very much in distress if I have to, I'm going to be in distress. What did I then do? I hunted for a problem. Hate watching or love watching? Grab a pen. Would you agree that the solution to your issue of students complaining that they're being forced to start a billion-dollar business? Who is teaching how to be a billionaire? Is it a billionaire? This happens all the time in sports, where the athlete sees a fat dude going, "Were you ever good at shortstop? Because you look fat now." Is this me referring to myself? No, I'm referring to Augie Garrido. I know. Oh my God. Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. Whitney Wolf, Lisa Falzone, Kim Turka, Sarah Blakely, Shelby Haas. Why is it that blondes love this? This is why, actually. Because I made the mistake of looking at not even a fat dude. Augie Garrido was just slightly old. And he had all the clues. I just didn't listen. I just don't know what I was doing. I was just more cocky than I am now. This version, okay? This version's incredibly humble. This version is like salt of the earth. Everything that I'm promoting, I already did, and I can help you do super easily because this is my Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. What rep is this? My like 700,000th rep, which is why I can literally talk to an Alex Hormozi and charm him super fast, like I'm a pussy magnet, because it's able to close on one call goats. Greatest of all time. Let's focus on what you can do that I did with my IQ of 88, which is hunt problems, and then they dropped knowledge where I dropped my notebook. This is what matters more. Easter. You front run Easter because Jesus loves you and he died for 3 days and then rose. So we're hunting a problem of disconnecting with our mentor. This is why I'm so good with mentorship now, which is why when you said name dropping, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Augie Garrido, he tried to mentor me. I didn't listen. The next old dude that sounded like he was joking, who was cocky as fuck, his name was Mark McCormack. There is no better mentee in the world than Larry Chang to Mark McCormack. If you have no mentors, it shows because of page 164 and page 132. I'm sorry that your father left you, okay? I'm sorry that he was absentee, and yes, you are now crying on a stream because a dude that you hate loves you. And am I promoting Jesus Christ? Kind of, but I'm also promoting Larry Chang because I'm sorry that your father left you and was a horrible mentor to you, okay? And now you're not able to connect to anyone else resembling a older brother figure because maybe your older brother traumatized you without getting in any sexual specifics on why your brain is temporarily broken. And if you're coming to this from the Silicon Valley gay mafia, which I am a participant of because I crash everything and I make it better. Am I LGBTQ, TT? Technically, yes, because the plus is for heterosexuals. Is this a safe space for heterosexuals? I think it is. I think it is. Is this the best stream you've ever seen? Yes, because archived and clipped, that's what we want to do in the practice of me clipping other people's videos. That's what we are doing with the new model for, dare I say, multi-level marketing. But this pyramid is not like 2 girls, 1 Larry. Get it? 2 girls, 1 Larry. I'm the A and the 2 girls. We're not doing that. I mean, we are doing that, but not like the A Stand-up comedy? Yes. Three-way? No. Why? We are doing a pyramid that you keep all the money because the pyramid point is you. You're the multi-level marketing person at the top because there's no affiliate daddy to pay. You don't even need to say, Larry's my daddy. You don't even need to say anything. You just need to multi-level market by selling a video, your own video. So these things are rights free, no trademark. Who's my trademark copyright mentor? Carl Opedal, Larry Lessig. Is this name dropping? Nope. It's me promoting Carl Opedal because you have no idea who the F Carl Opedal is, even though you have a JD MBA from Yale and Harvard, okay? I'm sorry you don't know who that is, but guess what? He's probably been kicking your ass since Vail, Colorado's 270-degree office was a thing. Larry Lessig, you probably have heard of him because he wrote the book Copyright. And even if you don't know who is my friend, he is now something that you can cite because his book Copyright, it still applies for all of it. Am I now name dropping Tom Campbell, who's provost or chancellor to a terrific school in California, who's going to be the future provost chancellor, whatever they call it, at a college in the Bay Area? Probably. He talked about antitrust. And so we get to benefit because you now can do a video clip video in the same way that I am accelerating Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club, in the same way that I'm clipping Hot Girl Sales Club, in the same way that I'm helping LGBT component Peter Thiel and Sam Altman inside running the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. For the Silicon Valley Gay Mafia, stop victimizing people. What a great question. What a great question. It turns out the coding that is most important at Harvard, University of Texas, University of Illinois, and my safety college, Stanford University. Oh, look, my treasure map. Do you like my treasure map? The reason we're focused on my treasure map, why are we focused on my treasure map? Because the coding that matters is the $0. Do you remember at Omni Hotel in the lobby how we went from no table to table 39? That's what we're trying to code for having a table. Because we're trying to go from $0. We're not trying to go from $0. We're just springing right past $0 to get to $200K. How's tabs with 4 Z's? How's tabs with 4 Z's? How's tabs with 4 Z's? So the coding that you're doing isn't specifically for entrepreneurship. It's for anything. It's for anything where table 60, where your table 39, is your table 39. is on your treasure map under the 99 Days of Christmas, day number 30, what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt University, which we can win at because we can win at because now we've got a map. The content that came from Tom Koznick, Tom Byers, oh my God, this is even better. No face, just winning. Technology entrepreneurship. So instead of just teaching a class that I've never taken, winning by asking myself this question. What if Mark McCormack taught the class? What if Mark McCormack taught the class? He would probably do a much better job than Larry Chang if Mark McCormack taught the class. So what if Tom Koznick, Tom Byers knew Mark McCormack? Is this how I go to a baseball game and get on ESPN? Pretty much unlimited, as much as I want. In fact, I'm rejecting interviews from ESPN. Why? Because when I go to a baseball game, what am I doing? I'm not going to a baseball game as Larry Chang. Oh, no. I'm going to a baseball game saying, what would Augie Garrido say? Because that's how I should have played football. I should have played football by asking myself, what would Greg Colby want me making decision-wise? University of Illinois football coach. What would he want me to do, think, and see? Oh, did I do that as an athlete? Nope. But I'm doing that now for entrepreneurship. That's what you want to code. You want to code the genius shit that is the stuff that we did for Table 39. What you did was the hardest thing that any entrepreneur will ever do, which is why the last picture that's on my Twitter is Max Levchin. Chapter 1, Founders at Work. Chapter 1, Jessica Livingston. She started Y Combinator. Oh my God. Is that another hot blonde billionaire that I know? I'm really starting to rack them up, Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club. I totally forgot about Jessica Livingston. This video is probably the best video that I've done today. Oh wait, it's the only video I've done today. By the way, Walt, Day XXX is hilarious because in every video I've been able to mention Jesus Christ in the new year. And I'm not saying I'm going to be a part-time ministry person, but how hilarious is that? Because what if Mark McCormack taught Stanford Engineering 145? Guess what? I got students their return on investment for 4 years of Stanford University by lecture number 2, Engineering 145. And people were like, who the fudge is this guy? I'm Larry Chang. I like to teach sales for people that are good looking and haven't had to ever sell anything because vagina's just been thrown at us and we don't have to work for it. And now because we don't have to work for it, we're bad at business. Did I just solve Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club? Did I just solve Hot Girl Entrepreneurship Club while I'm in a room for what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt? Yeah. This is why women suck at business, is because they've been playing the game on easy mode. Whereas ugly dudes like me and you, we have to ask out one woman in order to date 3 women. Whereas women, they just need to open up their phone and get hit by 7,000 dicks in the face because my phone's not so smart. It's really just a giant box of dicks. Oh, but then explain why gay dudes are so rich. Oh, well, I will. Because we're really good at PR, or gay dudes, you all are really good at PR and able to handle childhood trauma by championing over something that was horrendously done to you. Did it just solve gay people's issues inside of Silicon Valley Gay Mafia? Who cares? I think with haters in the room, see the feed. Will somebody screenshot those? Because you can make money off of reading hate comments and then clipping videos, because you can go from 0 to 2 videos where you used to just consume marketing and now you are winning by coding your own brain. Do you like how long-winded of a 40-minute answer that was to end cap your question, which is, what's better, coding at UT, UIC, Harvard, or Stanford? They all suck at coding $0, which is the concept of this video. What they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, which is people get stuck in and around $0. I'm a little too happy with myself right now, but guess what? I'm being genuine. What do you want me to do? Pretend like I'm excited or pretend like I'm not excited? Because we are growing from this. We're growing. Jerry Tan, you're right. At the Josh McFarland party, Larry, if you ever learned to code, you'd be unstoppable. Guess who's coding right now? We are. We're coding ourselves. We're programming neuro-linguistic programming. Is this a pickup artist video all of a sudden? Yeah. We're trying to pick up ourselves artistically. Neuro-linguistic programming. John Grinder, Richard Bandler. Guess how I found out about PUA, pick up artistry? Another blonde billionaire. Hazel Grace Dirksen. I forget. I thought I was just 6 for 6 with blonde billionaires, but I just found out 2 more because of haters. Jessica Livingston, hello. I met her way before she was a even multimillionaire. Hello, winning. And Hazel Grace Dirksen, who gave me a book saying, I know why so many women I know why so many women, man. I was like, what? She's like, it's because you're part of this thing. And then she drops off a Bible. I was like, Hazel, I already have a Bible. I can't have a new Bible because I'm going to have to memorize different page numbers, different verses. I can't have a new Bible. A new Bible is just like she's like, it's not a Bible. It's not a Bible. It's not a Bible. Read it. And it was Neil Strauss, The Game. I read it in an hour, okay, because I speed read. Remember, this is after second semester college. Oh my God. Red pill people for lead gen, retarded. That's why Rollo Tomasi, godfather of the manosphere, wanted me to edit their giant pile of turd. And that's where we are at now, which is what they don't teach at Vanderbilt, 0 to 2 plates. This video has been amazing. What questions do you have? Now, what questions do you have? Have you replicated the magical thing that occurred on November 3rd? Is that crazy how I remember the last time we physically hung out? Because if you've done it twice since day 5 of Austin Tech Week, we would be springboarding you onto hashtag UT Launchpad, because you're busy trying to do the macro analysis of, is UT better than Harvard, versus I gave you a franchise, UT Launchpad. And then I actually saw you write it down, Walt, and you'd be the co-founder of Austin Startup Week if you had already started to do UT Launchpad, because UT Launchpad would be solving a problem. Oh my God, here's my notebook. Do you see how your brain has 3 other brains? This is what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, which is learn from Walt in how to get off of $0 with house tabs. He saw me next to him. Walt, who said hi to us in the room when we first met? Who said hi to us? Do you remember? Because a $2 investment would have gotten you to pretty much $3 million by now. Do you remember what 2 people you met sitting next to me? By the way, genius of you to sit next to me. Because when a Chinese dude has got this kind of confidence, it is backed up with 99x level of skill. So let's recap what skill-wise happened at day 4 of Austin Tech Week. What happened when you sat next to me? If you're multitasking, I'll go ahead and speed it up for you in the same way that Y Combinator is an accelerator. This, what they don't teach you at Vanderbilt, is an accelerator. What are we accelerating? You. You sat next to me in the same way that the viewers of this video are currently sitting across from me. Is this face intimidating? Why would it be? It's like a Shih Tzu sitting across from you talking. Tom Ball and Josh Bear. 2 thank you cards to those guys gets you a double. And maybe you weren't good enough to play college sports. This is a double that I'm just handing you. And remember when you said over text message, because I followed up with you, because you owed me $7 in LCRRM for the Hyatt event, which was Silk Road, which is a $300 fundraiser with more hot women in a fundraiser that you could have come to for free. I told you to dress up. Did you? That's okay. That's okay. I had to manage all that putty on my own. And I texted you, did you at least, after blowing me off at the Hyatt, did you at least send a thank you card? And you're like, oh, you're going to kill me. I'm not going to kill you. Future Walt, whether that's your grandfather or if you're your own grandfather, that's who's going to kill you, because you did the genius thing of you walked into a Larry Chang room and you sat next to me, Larry Chang. If I've never met you before, hi, great to meet you. This might be the first and only time. And this video in the next 7 minutes is going to be more valuable than all the other videos you've watched. which is this. You're going to go from watching videos and watching success to making videos and making success. Why did I laugh? Because it's so easy to go from 0 to 2, but it turns out nobody talks about the dollars under 4 million. If you look at entrepreneurship education, all of it is sexy, awesome analyst coverage to make you think you're thinking, to make you think you're self-improving, but all you're doing is log jamming up knowledge while none of it applies to you. What of the knowledge applies to you is getting off of $0. Honestly, some of you might be negative $4,000 trying to get to $0. Now, I have a tidbit for you that is a bibliography. If you'll read the comments, I'll even post the hate comments. Oh, you're name dropping. No, because Chris Sacca, a VC billionaire that you don't know, who's also blonde, but we're only talking about females that are blonde, that are billionaires. I'm batting 1,000. Is this. Chris Sacca said, I've never felt more rich as a multi-billionaire than when I went from negative $7,000 to $0. Let me repeat. Chris Sacca, he said, I've never felt more rich as a multi-billionaire than when I went from negative dollars to $0. Later, he joked about having never felt more rich than to have an iPhone charger in every room of his 19-room estate. That's a little douchey, but that's like the inside joke that's funny because at the time, an iPhone charger was like 50 bucks and Apple didn't have knockoffs in the Amazon store for $9. Like each iPhone charger was like 45 bucks. And so the only one company sold them, Apple. We get to leave zero. We get to leave zero. How awesome has this video been? So we're going to do that by watching a Larry Chang video, and then we're going to code a Larry Chang video where you're just going to be replicating a short like the videos that I did for Shelby Haas, and in the future, maybe you can do a long form video as well. If you're uncomfortable with sharing it, just mark it as semi-private and then email, text me the link. My Instagram is The Vagina Whisperer. Larry_Chang_650_283_8008. My phone number's everywhere And also, good question, I am the solo founder of the Uber API. Live action business case study 3366. So this isn't me bragging about being awesome. This is watching a person who is awesome, who's got an IQ of 88, who's currently kicking 99.99% of VC's ass, and celebrity tech startup founders, including Sam Altman, ChatGPT, because of September 14, 2015. Right? Hashtag winning. This is a safe space and will continue to be a safe space for heterosexuals.